Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about algae in your chicken's water, and it's something that I've encountered, maybe you have too, and so we're going to go over some simple solutions. So here is my outdoor water source, and you can see down in there we've got some algae that is living and growing in there. And let's look inside, and down inside we can see around those edges, algae just seems to want to grow. This one isn't super bad, but it's something that I don't want there for my chickens. These guys need healthy, good water, right? Here is another hanging water source I have for my chickens, and this one you can really tell has some algae growing inside. Also one that I really want to clean up and make sure my chickens are getting the best quality water. Because they're going to be laying eggs and we want those to be healthy as well, and I don't want my chickens to be prone to any sort of bacterial infection or anything of that sort. So we're going to clean this container and try to get rid of all of that algae. We got two major strategies with that. A, we could just scrub it out of there, or secondarily we could use a chemical and to try to get it out of there, such as bleach. I don't like that option because that bleach is going to be very harsh, potentially injure the plastic, and then that is going to be releasing toxins into the water, and then that is going to be what the chickens are drinking. So to me that is not an option. So we're going to go for the scrubbing route. Now on this container I've got a lot of the algae is really impacted down into these drinking little cup things, and so I'm going to need to scrub in through that area and get that out of there. For this time I'm actually going to disassemble the whole thing, get that out of there, and then we're going to see about how can we keep that out of there. So let's do some scrubbing. Now that we have a clean water container, how are we going to keep it clean and keep that water algae free? A couple strategies for you. First, put that container in the shade. Less light, less algae production or growth is what we should see. We could wrap that container in a dark material, also again keeping the light out, which should mean less growth. Both of those strategies to me mean, yeah, we're going to get algae just at a slower rate, but you're still going to be scrubbing your water container. Third solution can be adding chlorine to the water. Now, unless you're a serial killer, you wouldn't give your dog purely pool water, right? So why are we going to give our chickens chlorinated water? That makes no sense to me. So I think that one automatically gets ruled out as well. Last solution, and I believe this is the one to go with, and that is adding apple cider vinegar to your water. Let's give that a try. So here is our secret solution. We've got apple cider vinegar, and we're going to add 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon. So simple math, this is 3.5 gallons. I'm actually just going to fill it up to the 3-gallon mark, and so I'm going to do 3 to 6 tablespoons, and I'm going to see what they think. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water in and then put a little bit of the apple cider vinegar. Let's do this. So the recommendation again is 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar per gallon of water. For me, I started out with closer to 2, maybe even a little bit more, and it really decimated the algae, even though I cleaned it, that sort of thing, and then it actually went through a few days of really warm weather, and so I expected the algae to kick up, especially if I didn't have any of that acidity in the water, and it turns out I got none of that, as you can see behind me. And the issue that I had was it was a little bit too acidic for the chickens, and so they seem to shy away from it. I've got one other watering container within the coop, and they definitely veered towards that. When I brought them water into a dog bowl like dish, they also veered towards that. So when they had something else, they definitely preferred that over the apple cider vinegar in the water. So something to consider. 1 tablespoon should be enough. It's going to have to be one of those trial and error things. I'm trying it again with the 1 tablespoon, and we'll see over the next week or so if I get any algae out of that. And so I'm excited about the prospect of no longer having any algae. And other things to consider would be that if you do have a bunch of algae, those little cup things that I have down over there, those things are really tough to clean deep inside of there. So if I find that some of that algae still is persisting, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and replace those. Beautiful thing is, if you're just starting your chicken coop, would be to start out with using the apple cider vinegar. Then there's a good chance that you won't ever have a cleaning issue of being able to get that stuff out of there. So I might opt to actually go ahead and just replace those things, and hopefully it never becomes a problem again from this point forward. So if you've encountered the algae thing and you have other solutions that you've tried, I'd be really curious to see what's working for you, how your chickens tolerate it. If you have any other things, please leave that below in the comment section. I'd love to learn from you and maybe others who have watched this video. And if you like our content, please consider liking and subscribing, and I hope to see you soon.